Florida Explorer here. Oh, yeah, that was the back post that would have held part of their house. Maybe some sort of an addition to it. We're at the quote-unquote chimney. We haven't found out anything more about this other than that it is obviously an abandoned chimney. I think obviously it was a homestead, but I'm thinking there's a certain logic that it would be part of the Giddens Homestead, since the Giddens were known to homestead around here. We're probably 1,000 yards, maybe 800 yards from that cemetery. Robbie actually found this the day we found it, and he and the lovely research assistant tricked all through this area and found pots and pottery and shards and all sorts of neat stuff. In fact, the bucket that she found is still sitting there where she left it, and that's been 2 years, every bit of 2 years. But that's it. You can see how high up off the ground it was. That would have been floor level. In the home, the wood would have extended out, and it would have been up off the ground. Of course, as all Florida, old school Florida houses were, up off the ground for ventilation. But that is a thick, solid chimney, and that would have been, you can see from the sides are more finished, and the inside isn't as finished. That would have been where the house was right next to it, would butted right up next to it. So this is a very well made house. There's a post, you can see the slots in it. That would have held something, maybe rails. Anybody living here would have been involved in some sort of animal type industry. They would have been, they would have raised chickens, pigs, cattle. I'm sure they would have had cattle. They might have been involved in pine turpentine production. That sort of thing. Anything, I'm sure, to make a buck and to live, make a living. Yep, that's the bucket she left there all that time ago. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, this would have been amazing to be a place to make your home. Of course, none of these trees would have been here. This would have been totally, as all the other places that we've seen like this, the trees are of a younger nature, but it would have been completely deforested out of necessity. Everything they had was made out of wood, and they would have mined, and the fuel, they would have mined the wood that they had available to them at the time. I got these things all over me too again. This is a lot less overgrown than when we came out here. When you guys were traipsing out here, this was all bushed. This is out here where you found your bucket. Oh, that's right. You guys found that too, didn't you? That's right. I can't even remember now what it was, but I do remember that there was something more out here. Here's another post attached to a fence. Now, I was over photographing the chimney, and they were off finding various cool things off here in the bush. Found a bucket. I forget what the foundations are though, or where they are, but I don't know, it might have even been from a different time period. But this is it. I can't say this is, and I can't say this isn't the Giddens Homestead, but it's certainly as good a theory as any other. But the This would have been a place of aliveness, living life, children, family, industry. Back then, leisure time was at a very, very high premium. There wasn't very much of it at all. Almost every waking moment of your day was spent in preparing to live, preparing food, preparing wood, preparing for the next day, preparing to defend yourself. This would have been an outpost, even though the Indian issue had been long since resolved. This still would have been a place where you were completely by yourself, and anybody who came up in here, as we've seen at the Stewart Homestead over in Green Swamp, who wanted to put upon you, could do so with impunity and almost no repercussions, simply because of the lack of forensics and that sort of thing. They could have just come up here and done whatever they wanted to do and left. So you had to be ready to defend yourself against all manner of ne'er-do-well. So this would have been absolutely a frontier outpost during that time. And that's about all you can say about it. It would have been an amazing place, a dangerous place. Disease would have just wiped you out, your whole family, overnight, literally. If you fell and broke a leg, there wasn't a whole lot of options. If a pig gutted you, or there would have been bear out here at that time. So everything that they did was survival. And they had church on Sunday, but that was about it. And from here, I don't even know where that would have been. Under a tent somewhere, who knows? But this is one of the coolest spots that we've ever found, in my opinion. And we found it on our own. And when you come back to it now, just because it deserves to be remembered, it deserves to be documented. It's an amazing place. People live their lives. They came from South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and came out here to hack their lives out of the wilderness of Florida, and they did. Crazy cool. And we're going to go check out the Florida Cracker Cow sale now, which we are very privileged, thanks to lovely research assistant for finding out about that. Yay! Represent!
We're going to go buy us a cow.
Yep, go buy us a cow, that's right. So now we're out.